Okay, Shabbat Shalom. Today I want to talk to you all about two things. The two things I want to talk to you all about is why people is always in your business and why you shouldn't always complain if you're not willing to find a solution to your complaints, to your problem or your issues. Okay, the reason why people are always in your business is because you tell them your business. You probably feel obligated. Listen, you probably feel obligated to tell people your business. You see what I'm saying? And see, you, I, or whoever cannot get upset when these people keep asking our business. I'm around an individual where they're so comfortable about being in my business, they get mad if I don't tell them my business. Yep. And I loaned that out to them from years ago. I've loaned that out to them. And I realized that, you know what? The reason why this person is so comfortable with being in to the point so bold that they would deeply ask me my personal business. And I realized that even starting from years ago that I've loaned that out to them. I will come to them and comfortably talk to these people and just pour out my business. And then get mad when they keep asking me my business. But I had to realize that. I'm like, wait a minute, I loaned that out. I loaned that out to this dodo. So I can't get mad when they're in my business, when they're asking my business. I can't get mad. Okay, cool, you live and learn. So I learned from that. I learned to stop telling this person my business. Now, it's come to a point where they realize that I don't socialize with them and tell them my business, so they still boldly ask. So I had to recently highly checkmate someone. And we're not talking about work right now. We're talking about private life. So I had to personally highly checkmate this person for being in my business. They got upset, which I didn't care. People get mad when they can't get what they want out of you, but you shouldn't checkmate them from them bothering you. I don't understand this society. When you tell someone where they're wrong at and you check them, everybody around see and hear this, see what you're doing, know why you're doing it, and everybody look at you as the problem instead of realizing or trying to figure out what gave you the reason to defend yourself, what gave you the reason to checkmate a dodo. I don't understand that. Everybody always like, who, what, when, why, where, but never say, okay, why you bothering her? Why you in his business? What's going on? What gave this person a reason to checkmate you? You see what I'm saying? You know why? Because people on the outside that see you defend yourself, they're offended too, because they're just like the person who you checkmate. That's why they felt the ambush too, because of their actions. That's why people act the way they act when they see someone defend themselves from a dodo. So stop telling people your business when you're comfortably telling people, especially people who want to be in your business. Come on now. You could be talking to someone who's willing to help you when you tell them your business. You can't get mad when you talk to someone who don't even want to hear your business. Nobody want to hear your business, but when you tell it to an individual who's willing to help you, for some reason, you get offended. You get offended when someone is willing to help you. After you told them, well, I was just pouring out my problem. That's all, I was just trying to tell you what was going on with me. I ain't trying to find no solution to it, Thank you, though, No, you're not going to be blowing my ears off telling me your business. I don't care about who you slept with and all that. I don't care about you winning a lottery and stuff. No, I don't care. Don't tell me nothing. That's you. When you tell people you won a lottery, the next thing you know, somebody kicked your back door in, and you get mad at why somebody kicked your door in. That's because you made an announcement to the whole building that you won a lottery. That's why, dodo. Huh? So I realized that, in my life, the reason why an individual is comfortable with being in my business or trying to be in my business because I loaned that out to them years ago. I could be walking out with a box or whatnot, and they just stand there waiting on me to tell them what that box is and what's going on, what you're moving or you do what you got. And so when I ignored the person, they was looking at me as if I did something wrong. They was looking at me as if I did something wrong by ignoring them. I was supposed to stop doing what I'm doing to talk to them and tell them why I'm doing what I'm doing. See? Now, this is an individual who I felt comfortable. Why? Let's also go back to this. People like that are very manipulative. They are very manipulative. They'll come off so nice, innocent, ask you one little question that seem to be so innocent, not a problem. And then next thing you know, bang, they all in your business. To the point where they feel obligated to continue to be in your business and will get highly offended if you don't tell them your business. Huh? Now, people, when you complain, I could go back to the workplace on this, and even the dodo who I'm talking about in my private life away from work. Now, when you're around someone who always complains, this is so annoying to me, even at work. I'm around people who, first thing in the morning, I come around and they nagging, complaining, nagging, all throughout the day. Nagging, complaining. And I kid you not, when I say, well, why don't you do this? They be like, well, that ain't gonna work. And well, it may be this. It's like, why don't you just shut up then? I am tired of being around people who always complain. And you complain to me. You complain in the air. And then when someone take the time out to say, well, won't you do this? I can't stand that when people say, well, that ain't I can't do that because of this and because of that. Well, I can't do that because of this, because of that. Well, I can't go to the doctor because I don't got no insurance. I can't drive over here because my car isn't, but I do need to get over. I got to take up my back. I got to get over here. They get my money. Well, won't you go then? Well, I ain't got no car fare, so they just gonna have to just, wait then, because I ain't got no. Won't you shut up then? Complain about everything, but don't want to really find a solution to the problem. Why? Because these people just want to hear themselves talk. These people ain't got nothing else to talk about, so they just want to just nag and complain. Not only that, but they want the focus off of them. They want to complain about everybody, Tom, Dick, and Larry, and Michelle, and Cujo. They want to complain about everything to make every bit of little issue from somebody else this whole big complaint, because they want you to look at everybody else as this problem and not them. And then when you try to help them find a solution to whatever dumb complaint they have, they don't want to resolve it because it's really not an issue. They make it an issue because they want you to look at everybody else as an issue instead of them. And see, when you look at them like, no, we ain't talking about Michelle and Tom and Larry. We talking about you. What about me? What about me? I can only do so much. I'm this, I'm that. I've done this. I'm that. I did. You see what I'm saying? I. But you are the problem. I see what's going on with them or what. And I don't need you to keep reminding me about nothing. I got this. And if you have a problem with it, won't you help find a solution to it? Dodo. I'm tired of it. My apartment is hot. My apartment is cold. It's cold. Well, go get a heater. Well, I don't trust heaters and I don't want to buy a heater. I can't afford a heater, so I'd rather just go on and get up under my blankets. Why you complaining about it's cold then? Well, it's just conversation. I don't care about all that. Stop it. You pouring too much salt on yourself when you complain just to be complaining. It's too hot in my apartment. We'll go get an air conditioner. Well, I ain't trying to pay no extra fees and all that. We'll go get a fan. Well, I need a lift and I ain't got nobody to come take me and I don't feel like walking. Well, why are you complaining? Well, it's just for conversation. That's why don't nobody talk to you. Don't nobody talk to you because you always nagging and complaining, don't want no solution to your problem. People look at me as a problem because I'm a problem solver. I try not to complain at all about whatever's going on with me. Now, if I feel like I have to explain myself about what is going on, that's because I'm in a situation where I'm trying to find a solution. Hallelujah. Well, KK, why you getting all this ice and ice and ice, and why you keep getting ice and ice? Because my refrigerator went out. That's for people who was in my business. Hallelujah. I'm getting ice because my refrigerator went out. I need it for my cooler. That's why. Dodos. Huh? Now, am I complaining? Now, if I just explain to you why I got the ice, that's cool. But guess what? KK found a solution to her problem. Hallelujah. KK found a solution to her problem. Huh? So I'm not going around, man, I got to keep getting ice. I got to keep getting ice and put it in my cooler for my refrigerator. I ain't got no refrigerator. My refrigerator went out, and I got to keep getting ice, and I got to keep doing. No, I'm doing what I need to do until I find a solution to my problem. Hallelujah. Stop complaining if you're not going to find a solution to your problem. Like I said, if you happen to tell someone your problem, it's because you're trying to find a solution. You're not complaining about your problem just to post on and want people to feel sorry for your dodo butts. We're not doing that. I don't want nobody to feel sorry for me. If I tell you anything, that's because I'm trying to find a solution, meaning some help for my problem. Hallelujah. And then when you get the solution, when you find a solution to your problem, then you can move on.